Now's the perfect time to split your perennials. Absolutely perfect, because we've still got a bit of warmth, so there's still a bit of growth going on. So it gives it chance, your perennials chance to sort of settle into a new position if you're going to just move them around the garden. It's got a good root system. So the thing with hostas is they have a really fibrous, thick root system. You can see that there. They're tough plants, so don't worry too much if you think you're disturbing them too much, because you won't do. They are tough plants, hostas. So we're going to split this one because we've got 2 crowns. Now if it was a really big plant, you could just use a saw, or you can use 2 spades, 2 forks just to prise it open. There's lots of different methods. Obviously with some other perennials, they're more tender or delicate. You just have to be a bit more careful, but with hostas they're pretty tough. So I'm just going to, hopefully, I'll show you the split. But I'm just not being too rough, I'm just gentle, giving it some gentle pressure, and it's coming apart. So what I don't want to do is to snap that top off completely. As long as I've got the root with it, I'm just untangling the roots. There we go. So
it looks quite scary, doesn't it? And I think if someone's not, they'd be concerned about hurting the plant. But
no, it actually, once the plant gets quite big, it actually does them good, because you sort of taking away the congestion. It's obviously got some slug damage which you get with hostas, so you can either just snip those off if you want to. I'm just going to leave them on, not going to hurt anything. So if you wanted to, you could put one back where it is, move them around the garden. If it's not in the right place, now's the ideal time, if you've got a plant that's not in the right place, to lift it and move it, because the soil's still reasonably warm. You might not feel it, but it's warm to the plant. Still got a bit of sun, we're going to get some rain. Hopefully no frost for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So it gives it a chance to settle back into a new location. But yeah, so it's a good time to move plants that are in the wrong location, or to divide plants that have just got too big. And obviously, if you've got a really big perennial, what you'll find is the outside will be more vigorous. The inside will have slowed down, it'll have become old and tired. So what you do is you chop that, compost it, and then just split up your vigorous young growth. But what we're going to do, we're going to pot these up, and we're actually going to overwinter them inside. So take those away. Well, you can see in the roots, just so they're filled with water. So we're going to pot these hostas up. They're a hardy plant, so you don't have to store them in a greenhouse over winter. You can put them outside. But because we've lifted them, we're going to store them and give them the best environment we can through the winter, to hopefully try and get a better plant to plant out next year. Because with hostas, the bigger and more robust the plant is, the stronger it is against attack from slugs and snails. So I'm just going to check that there's no actual pests on this. If there is, I'll just wipe them off. Make sure there's a seed there from something. I'll just snip that off. I could take these leaves off, but I'm just going to leave them on. It's not going to hurt the plant. So there you've got the root system. So I'm just going to, I'll actually chuck that seed into the bottom of the pot. So I'm just going to lay that on there, and then I'm going to gently fill around it. And you're looking to plant it at the same level it was in the ground. You'll be able to see where it was. So again, firm it in well, tap it down to, you'll know if it's in right because it won't wobble. And you can see just where the soil level was, just there, look, where the white is. So you want it up to there, the light that changes colour. So that was under the ground, that white bit. So we'll just top that up. Again, if it's slightly too deep, it won't matter really. They're a tough plant. And then we're just going to give it some root well to encourage it to improve its root system. So we'll do the other one. And get this I would say was the original plant. So it would just, purely because it seems bigger and more mature root wise than that one. I'm guessing that was like this is now. When we bought the plant, that would probably have been like that, and it's developed into a full-blown plant. I could trim the roots, but a lot of these small fibrous roots, it'll help it develop quicker. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of the compost out with my hand. So again, we'll firm that in. That's it, solid. So I'll just water them then. But you might see a difference in that one. The thing is, because this is a living plant and you don't want it to be dormant really, it doesn't matter about watering it. But you wouldn't water it a lot through the winter. Just keep an eye on it. Yeah, it will develop more healthier leaves through the winter.